Hi. King Cool here with your coverage of TNA LockDown. great, great. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna rate the match yet. I'm not gonna rate the whole show yet. I'm gonna just skip to the little thing because I'm very tired and very bored. Not tired, but bored. You got Team Garrett Bischoff versus Team Eric Bischoff. Good back and forth match. The heels got the upper advantage, but it was the good guys that came out on top. Garrett Bischoff hitting his own father in the head over the head with the guitar, which KO'd Eric Bischoff and led Garrett Bischoff to get the win over his father. So your winner's Team Garrett, which means Eric Bischoff is gone from TNA and he can't use the Bischoff name ever again. Yeah, Eric Bischoff. Next match, the TNA Tag Team Championship titles, with Samoa Joe and Magnus versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Hot. Motor City Machine Guns was excellent during the match, of course. The crowd was not very excellent. They wasn't very lively during that match. But Samoa Joe and Magnus came out on top. Congratulations to them two. Still TNA Tag Team Champions, Samoa Joe and Magnus. Great team. Next match, you got your TV Championship title, TNA TV Championship title match, with Robbie E. with Big T, aka Rob Terry, versus Devon, the current TNA television champion. Good overall match. Very quick. About like a 3-minute match. Devon won with it was a short, boring. It was a boring match. Yeah. Anyway, you got your Knockouts Tag Team title match up next. Gail Kim with the Queen, Madison Rain. Yeah, Madison Rain, the Queen, versus Velvet Sky. Let the pigeons loose. About a good long match. It was a good match. But Gail Kim retained the title, using a cheap roll-up pin when she grabbed the tights of Velvet to retain the title once again. Then you had a Ric Flair segment, the Nature Boy. And was he mad? He was very mad. Well, he was pissed. Yes, that's the term he used. He was pissed. Guess who he was pissed at? Hulk Hogan, of course, for letting Eric Bischoff go. It was a little fun segment. He kind of picked at the fans, you know, called the fans fat. You know who I am? You know, I'm Ric Flair. Yes. Hulk Hogan entrance music hit. Hulk Hogan came out there. Him and Ric Flair was going back and forth talking about nothing, blah 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 blah. How Ric Flair was a legend and stuff. He was the best wrestler or something in the world, whatever. And then it turned to a heated festival, you know, where Ric Flair just got super mad at Hulk Hogan, and he took off his jacket, and Hulk Hogan just knocked him out with one punch. Well, not knocked him out, just took him down with one punch. Yes, Hulk Hogan had to get physical with Ric Flair. Woo! A little too much woo there. Yes. Yes, Hulk Hogan got physical with Ric Flair. Knocked his block off, as some people would say. And after that, Flair went BANANAS, bananas, whatever. Here we go. The match everybody was probably waiting for. Crimson versus Matt Morgan. Not really. I'm gonna tell you who won that one. Of course, the undefeated Crimson won that one. Let me tell you how he won. Not by pinning him, not by making him tap out, of course, but he escaped the steel cage. You know, a match like that, they was building up for, you know, kind of week after week after week, you know, Matt Morgan trying to plot his revenge and whatnot on Crimson for stabbing him in the back. Crimson, it turned out how Crimson escaped the steel cage. Yeah, it wasn't such a good ending for a match, but otherwise, hey, on the bright side, if you like Crimson, he's still undefeated. Yeah, wow. Next match, Jeff Hardy versus Kurt Angle. Okay. TNA LockDown. This was probably the best match ever on TNA LockDown on the card. Better than the Lethal Lockdown, whatever match or whatever they call it. Team Garrett Bishop. Oh my goodness. Dudes, fans, peeps, Guidos, whatever. Let me tell you, Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle went at it back and forth. Of course, both of them would not stay down. Angle slam. Oh wow, Jeff Hardy stole a couple of Kurt Angle moves. Kurt Angle did a couple of ankle locks, tried to do some ankle locks. Jeff Hardy turned his own ankle lock against him. Jeff Hardy hit the angle slam. Jeff Hardy hit 2 swantons, double twist of fates. Still, Kurt Angle still was rebellious, kicked out. Jeff Hardy took it to the extreme, went on top of the steel cage, hit the swanton bomb on Kurt Angle, you know, and then the match was over. Capiche? So Jeff Hardy beat Kurt Angle. Too bad that wasn't for a title. That would have been excellent. But wow, oh wow. Hardy was finna. Hardy at times. There was a time when Hardy was teasing. He was finna leave the cage, I would guess. Yeah, he was finna leave the cage, but then that's when Kurt Angle applied the ankle lock as that's when Kurt Angle applied the ankle lock. Kurt Angle called for a timeout during one point. Kurt Angle called for a timeout, then they would set the match. What else? Good match. Here we go. You got your Knockouts tag team title match. Eric Young and ODB. Yes, a man, for those you don't know, is a Knockouts tag team champion. There's nothing wrong with that in my book, okay? As long as he got some gold around his waist, right? Versus Mexican America, I believe. Mexican America's Rosita and Sarita, which they lost inside of a steel cage match. About 4-minute match, I would guess. 4 minutes and some minutes. Now who's counting? Good short match. ODB displayed the power of the two. Good point during the match where Rosita and Sarita distracted Eric Young. And then the next match after that. They showed the super long video package. And I took a bathroom break, went back, they were still showing it, of TNA's Storm versus Rude and Storm's match. Yes, leads to the final match of the TNA LockDown pay-per-view. Bobby Roode versus, my bad, sorry, with all respect to Robert Roode, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Robert Roode, the It Factor Bobby Roode, versus Nashville's own cowboy James Storm, with his family and support inside of a steel cage. Good back and forth match. Well, not with the match didn't. Hold on, the match didn't start yet. James Storm snuck up on Robert Roode. Good back and forth brawl outside. Referee Earl Hebner was the outside referee, was just trying to beg him to get back in the cage, and back and forth outside brawling. Then Robert Roode took his head, grinding up against the steel cage, still a steel. So which led James Storm to start bleeding early got busted open early in the match. By the way, back to that Jeff Hardy. If you want to see some blood, the most randomest blood match. I know it goes back in WWE days. This is random. Yeah, I do a random segment too. Time for random man segment. Alright, Jeff Hardy back in WWE. Those was the days you rarely ever. I mean, I really honestly do not recall seeing a match where Jeff Hardy was bleeding. This is honestly, I think, like my first time seeing Jeff Hardy bleed during a match. Yes, Jeff Hardy normally doesn't bleed. Jeff or Matt Hardy, do I recall? Don't know. I don't know. You should comment. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment or something if you recall a time of Jeff Hardy ever bleeding during a match, if you care or not or whatnot. But anywho, back to TNA Lockdown, back to the real world. Jeff Hardy was bleeding during his match. And how about this? Kurt Angle was not. Shocking. Alright. Yes, Storm was just he was bleeding during the match. Eventually, Bobby he did the same thing to Bobby Roode, scraped his head against the cage, the forehead, which led Bobby Roode to bleed. Good back and forth match. Oh wow. It was a good match, but unfortunately, it was a good match. That's all. The ending wasn't so great, but I'm gonna get to the ending. It was like it was a good back and forth near falls during the match. James Storm hit the eye of the storm. Robert Roode hit his little spine busters out of nowhere. But that's not. There was no pinfalls. The winner, whoever won the match, was not. It wasn't no pinfalls or submissions that won the match. It was James Storm that cost himself the match. Yes, James Storm lost, but it was his own fault. I'm guessing he let his anger get to the best of him. See, it all started when Bobby Roode he asked Earl Hebner to give him a beer, and apparently Earl Hebner gave it to him. So Robert Roode crashed upside his head, told Earl Hebner to get inside the ring, pinned him. Psh, capiche? Thought it was 1, 2, 3. Nope. James Storm kicks out. The cowboy kicks out. And then Robert Roode was finna try something else, but all of a sudden James Storm quickly got up. Last call. Straight to the Bobby Roode fell straight to the floor. Then James Storm decided to wait till Bobby Roode to get up again and hit another last call. That last call super kick was a mistake though. So that led to Robert Roode's victory when he got last call straight out the ring. Out the cage, my bad. Out the entrance of the cage. So your winner and still your TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Bobby, the It Factor Roode. I just gave him like 4 names there, but whatever. He's still a TNA champion. They kind of sold it out where he had the little medical attention, the medical people giving him attention outside. After that, Storm went over there, hugged his family, still massive respect. Now, for my rating on the pay-per-view, overall, it was great. It was great. I'm not going to be too harsh on it. I'll give it an 8.5 in my book. Ain't too many near falls. Yeah, it was a great pay-per-view. For those of you that missed it, you gotta check it out. TNA Lockdown. Good match. Capiche. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm King Cool. And thank you for tuning in on another exciting web show of King's World Wrestling. As the Joker Sting would say, ta-ta for now. Peace. Yeah. Play some little entrance music.